everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Living Yo, and today I'm going to talk to you about blackbear's 2017 album Cybersex. So to be honest, I had only heard it for the first time this year in 2020, and I wish I'd listened to it sooner because it is amazing. From track to track, it continues to blow my mind every single time I listen through it. It is one of those albums that you can listen from start to finish and still become completely enveloped in every single song. So the album contains 14 tracks and it is 51 minutes in duration, and it falls into the R&B and soul genre. I am very obsessed with and I listen to a lot. I can't tell you just how much I love this album, so let's get into it. Also guys, I'd really appreciate your comments. Please feel free to tell me your favorite songs on this album. I know I'm kind of late on the whole blackbear bandwagon, but I really think he's amazing and I'll be doing future reviews of his other things. So I've been listening to Digital Drug Lord a lot, and that is a 2017 release as well, and it's just amazing. Why didn't I listen to this before? So this album is a Bear Trap Alano Interscope release. It is 51 minutes in duration and it consists of 12 tracks. And at the end of the review, I will give you my top 3 favorites. So if you want to know what my top 3 favorites are, then please stay tuned. Just a little bit of background before I start this review. blackbear was an artist that I had started listening to about, I want to say mid last year, so mid 2019. The first song I'd ever heard from him was I Miss the Old You on his Digital Drug Lord album in 2017. And the first song that I'd ever heard on the Cybersex album is track number 12, Got to Go Talk to You Later, featuring They, because I had been searching for songs by They, actually a very specific one that was on an Instagram advertisement. They were saying, oh, look at this guy They, you know. So I was like, I went onto Apple Music and Spotify and I was taking a look at all They's music and I was trying to find that specific song, and then I'd found that he was a feature on blackbear's song was Got to Go Talk to You Later, and I fell in love not only with Thay's voice but blackbear even more than I had already been. With music in general, I tend to listen to it more than once. I think that one of the worst feelings for any music listener is to become obsessed with a song and then put it on repeat and listen to it until you're absolutely sick of it. But that's the point where I understand the lyrics, I understand the melody structure, any ad-libs that may be featured there that I hadn't heard before, lyrically as well. And I think with artists who have such a good flow like blackbear, Nicki Minaj, Future, I do tend to realize the meanings of some of their lyrics a little bit later than I ordinarily would. Sometimes you just miss key lyrics and then you sit back and you're like, wow, that was really smart on their part. Like Nicki Minaj does that to me a lot, and I'll be doing reviews on her songs and albums as well. But without further ado, let's get into the review. Okay, so I made some notes, so I'm just gonna I might be looking down just to keep track on everything that I'm saying and just to make sure that I've really covered everything, because I love music so much and I really like the nitty-gritty bits of the music. And you know, I also appreciate listening to music just generally, just very passively as well. So yeah. So let's get into the video. Okay, so track 1 is Gucci Linen and it's featuring 2 Chainz. So the strengths for this song would be the trap beat. It's such a heavy beat, and the lyrics in the chorus are also very catchy as well. So lyrics such as, my bed is draped in Gucci linen, I never say I love you to this woman. And I just think that the way that he raps that, it's very and it really ties in all the verses together, including 2 Chainz' feature. And overall for the song, I'd give it a strength score of 4 out of 5. The other aspects of this song that I enjoyed were blackbear's references to pop culture and other rappers and singers, specifically Nelly Furtado and Nelly. So at the end of the chorus, he goes, I'm high as a bird, Nelly Furtado, yeah. So that makes reference to Nelly Furtado's song, I'm Like a Bird. And then he goes, no Nelly, it's getting hot in here. And that's making reference to Nelly's Hot in Here. And I think that references to other artists and their songs are very hit and miss. And I think that he really hit it on the nail with this one. Very smart, very subtle, but also with a lot of meaning. And it's so easy to pick up on, that the references would be like, oh, awesome. Like, some people make references to celebrities very iffy, like they would try to hide them in there and try to create some innuendo with that. But I think he really just had a blatant intention just to shout out these names, and I think that's pretty creative in the way that he achieved that. So that's all I had to say about the first song. Now moving on to the second. So track 2, we've got Bright Pink Tims by Cameron. Now, I wasn't exactly familiar with Cameron at all prior to hearing this song, so I think that it's sometimes nice to hear a feature without having heard them in the past. I believe that Cameron was the only artist that I hadn't heard of at all prior to listening to this album. This album features artists like Tinashe. We heard 2 Chainz on the first song. We've got Machine Gun Kelly on one, which I'm so excited to talk about. We've got FRND. We've got T-Pain, Rick Ross. Rick Ross's voice is just this deep, sugar-coated, familiar soul. I've listened to Rick Ross a lot, and I'm just like, I just love his voice. His voice is one of those iconic ones that you can hear it without even like knowing that he's on a song and be like, oh, that is Rick Ross. His voice is so universally recognizable, and I am so glad that blackbear chose him to be part of this project, because I just really feel like he captured the essence of what it means just to be real gangster, if that makes sense. Okay, so with Bright Pink Tims, I had 3 things that I really enjoyed about the song. First of all, the lyricism. I really enjoyed the lyrics in the first verse when blackbear goes, I look so rich, my looks break bread. I thought that was really creative, so that's a 10 out of 10 for that. I felt like the beat was very hardcore, like Gucci linen, and the sound effects, like the gun being clocked and then being shot, just really tied in with everything and made it really, really badass, and I just really enjoyed that. So, and a third thing that I really enjoyed from this song was in Cameron's feature, just the rhythm of his flow, especially when he goes bright pink toes, and I just really enjoyed that. So overall, I give the whole song a 4 out of 5. I just felt it was really catchy, just like track 1, and it really ties into his new sound when you compare it to like Digital Drug Lord, which was a release of the same year. I just felt like they differ so heavily, like they're so, like you can tell like blackbear was in 2 separate phases when it came to creating these pieces of art. So I really appreciated it, and I really enjoyed that song. Okay, moving on to track 3. So track 3 is called Playboy Shit, and it features Lil Aaron. Now, it's more high tempo compared to tracks 1 and 2, and I love the lyricism as well. I feel like for every single one of his songs, I'm going to be commenting on just how good and creative his lyrics are, and I think that's really important when artists write songs. Like personally, it's I'm not I don't think that it is like necessarily the tempo at which people speak or you know, sing or rap in songs which makes a song. You know, there are lots of people who say very little in their songs or repeat a lot of their lyrics, and it still is a banger. And there are some people who rap extremely fast, or their word count is extremely fast as a singer or a rapper, and their songs bang too. So, but just with him, I really enjoyed his whole high tempo speed in track 3, and I felt like it differentiated what he was doing in tracks 1 and 2. Okay, so moving on to track number 4. So the next track, track number 4, is called Easy, and it does feature Machine Gun Kelly. It is my favorite feature on the blackbear album. I have played this song on repeat so many times. It's not even funny. I'm so close to being a bit sick of it, but I love that feeling when you play the song so many times and you understand the lyrics and you understand where they're coming from. And I feel like it's the song that to me has the most meaning, and it's one that I can understand has most meaning to them, to both blackbear and Machine Gun Kelly. I think the perspectives from which they talk really speaks volumes, and it's one of those songs that definitely differentiates cybersex from Digital Drug Lord in so many ways. Like, I could never imagine this song being on Digital Drug Lord. I feel like there are so many new vibes as well that don't suit that album at all, and really cybersex is something that I think it's more emotional than Digital Drug Lord as a whole, and I feel like it really exposes a whole level of vulnerability, and I really think it's a masterpiece, as you can tell. In Easy, we hear a lot of singing coming from blackbear as well, especially in the chorus where he goes, maybe I messed up, maybe it's tough, I wanna get you easier that way, easier that way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It really transcends him from one of those, just from, it really separates him from all the other rappers out there. So when he can write good lyrics, spit those lyrics really well, and also sing and harmonize, I'm obsessed. Like, I'm so obsessed. And Machine Gun Kelly, of course, best feature on the album. Like, it's really next to him and Rick Ross. Those are probably my top two like favorite features on the album. Just how smooth that verse was, like, my gosh. And you really got to hear that half frustrated Eminem-esque just anger, and you really hear how much he means what he said. So overall, I give this song a 5 out of 5, and I really want Machine Gun Kelly and blackbear to collaborate again. I just think they make such a good pair, and I feel like compared to Machine Gun Kelly, blackbear's a little bit sweeter, so it's that mix of the sweet and sour that I really enjoyed as well. And now we move on to track 5. Track 5 is very trappy. Track 5 is called Up in This, and it's featuring Tinashe, and I love everything Tinashe does. I think it's amazing that she produces her own music as well and has that level of involvement. I don't think it would be Tinashe level music had she not had any involvement with either writing or producing this song, and I'm so glad that she did have that type of involvement. In the chorus, I really enjoy her ad-libs as well. So how she goes, hang out! I think it added character, I think it added dimension. I felt like I was in this 3D spaceship nightclub sort of situation, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. And shout out to blackbear's runs in this song. We didn't really hear it that much in like Gucci Linen and stuff like that, but like now that we've moved, so it's track 5, it's like track 4, I think we started hearing his runs and his singing voice in track 4, so with Easy, and now we're up in this, and it's a really nice compliment to the previous song. Like, we get to hear more of his runs and everything, and I think it was really beautiful. So I rate this song a 4 out of 5. And moving on to track 6. So track 6 is called Anxiety, and it's featuring FRND. So I think it's one of blackbear's more vulnerable songs because it does elaborate on the topic of anxiety and the feelings associated with that for him, and I feel like it's a feeling a lot of people can relate to, and the feelings that come with that anxiety. How he describes in his chorus, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I get anxiety. When you're not here with me, I get anxiety. It's certainly related to me as well, and the feelings that I feel when I get anxious. So the lyrics were a really big one for me. I also enjoyed the drop as well. And also how his voice breaks in the chorus post drop, where he goes, dahi, 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 and I thought that was really cool as well. So I rate this song a 4 out of 5. So track number 7 is an interlude. So it's a Thursday / Froze Over. To be fair, I enjoyed Thursday more than I did Froze Over. Froze Over feels a bit fragmented for me, and I feel like it was one of those things where it would have been better suited as an individual track rather than the second part to an interlude. I feel like Thursday had so much substance the beat was really great. It was a really hard beat when you sort of entered the chorus. So entering tracks 8 and 9, I'm sort of going to combine them together because to me they weren't as impactful as I thought they were. So track number 8 is called I Hope Your Whole Life Sucks, and there are no features to this song. I don't mind a blackbear song which doesn't have a feature. I don't believe that his songs need to have features for them to be good or for them to blow up or whatever. I feel like there are many a song in his discography which feature just him and he just pulls them off effortlessly, like Do Re Mi, Hot Girl Bummer are two of my favorites, and they don't have features, so his success I feel is not dependent on whether or not he has features, which is a good thing. I mean, like if you are a DJ like Kashmir Cat or something, then I think he has features of a lot, like for a lot of his songs. I mean, there are songs like Kiss Kiss and Miramaru from his previous EPs which have no features, and I still love them to death. I love Kashmir Cat and he's one of my favorite artists in my whole life. Some people just choose to have more features than others, but no, it's sort of like a personal decision. I don't feel like you necessarily need to have features to be this well-renowned artist. And track number 9 is called Down For You, featuring T-Pain. Again, it was catchy. It was something I listened to, throughout when I listened to the album from start to finish, but it's not a replay one for me, to be fair. So they were good, but not worth multiple replays on their own, in my opinion. So moving on to track number 10. So track number 10 is Glow Up, featuring Rick Ross. I cannot tell you how amazing this song is. Lyricism on point, especially for Rick Ross. Those are one of his better lyricized songs, in my opinion. I felt like they were very creative, very not different to what he normally writes about and normally raps, but it was just something else when featured on a blackbear song. I feel like sometimes when artists collab with other people, we get to see a different side of them. It may be because they've entered a new genre, or like they've entered this slightly uncomfortable situation where they haven't collabed with somebody before, or they haven't done something. It's really hard for me to explain, but I just don't believe that Rick Ross really changed his, the content that he raps about or his voice, but everything just made sense in this song. So I rate this a 5 out of 5. I did replay it a few times post album, so it was pretty good. One of my favorites. So track 11 was Top Priority and featuring Neo. I feel like when you have two singers on a track, they need to have different sounds because they will just sound the same. And I hate listening to songs where two artists sounding very similar, and it's hard for you to even differentiate which singer is who and who is singing what, and it's a pretty big headache. But this one gladly wasn't that, because they both have different singing styles and I love Neo a lot, so I rate this song a 4 out of 5. Track number 12 is Got To Go Talk To You Later. It's featuring They, and it takes a very different turn in terms of the beat. There actually aren't any trap influences in this beat, and it's a very stripped down acoustic song, and I really enjoyed that. I felt like that was a very nice slow down, 2 tracks away from the end of the song. I felt like that was a very nice way of sort of giving the people a song of perspective. So a sort of song that's so different from everything else in the album, that allows them to sort of think about like, oh wow, what has this album been about? What has it meant to me? And it sort of provides a moment of reflection, as well as giving us a new song to think about and new lyrics to understand. And I felt like out of the whole song, these were the most meaningful lyrics I'd heard to come out from blackbear, and they really complemented the song with his voice and his own lyrics. So I rate this song a 5 out of 5. So track number 13 is called Candy Apple, and it features Paul Wall and Riff Raff. It's a pretty good song. I didn't actually replay it by itself, other than playing it throughout the whole album. It was a pretty good song. not my like top 3, but still a pretty good song. And last but not least, track number 14, Santa Monica and Libre. This song did not have any features. I felt like it was pretty catchy as well. I'm always going to comment on his lyrics because I feel like they are from the heart. And with blackbear in general, I've never gotten this vibe from him that anything he says is just for the clout, or that it's fake, or that he's just faking feelings or faking lyrics or whatever. I feel like what he really says is indicative of how he's feeling at the moment, and I really value that honesty. So I give that song a 4 out of 5. I also give Candy Apple, which I did not rate the song before, a 3 out of 5. It's getting a bit dark, so I'm gonna quickly wrap it up. So overall, I love this album. I love this album a lot. It had more favorites than non-favorites. It was an album that really changed how I felt about trap R&B music. And it was one of those albums that gives you more than you had come there to get. I ended up going and searching up so many more of his songs in his albums that I had not heard. And I'm very, very grateful for that. So overall, I rate the album a 9 out of 10. So my top 3 songs are track number 1, Gucci Lin featuring 2 Chainz. Number 2, track number 4, Easy featuring Machine Gun Kelly. And my third is Up in This, track number 5, featuring Tinashe. So I'll be putting links for Spotify and Apple Music in the down bar. So please, if you have a chance, go down there and really take a listen, because I think it's an amazing album. For those of you who watched, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this review, and I hope that I articulated myself enough to be able to tell you just how much I love this song. And I will see you next time. Bye.